Hello, I'm Danny,
And I'm Jake.
and this is Marvel Talk. Hey everybody, welcome back to a fantastic episode of Marvel Talk here. We got some good, cool stuff to talk about, man. But before we get into Marvel and DC stuff, I figured, you know what, this was pretty hype news, and I think you know more about it than me, Jake. So I was like, let's talk about it. We got some news for Transformers.
Oh, yeah, we did. Woo! Oh, man, Transformers is, they're making another movie. They're bringing back those beasts, man. It's Beast Wars time. It's time for them to shine. We're at the 25th anniversary of Beast Wars this year, which is crazy to me that Beast Wars has been around for 25 years. And they're doing the Rise of the Beasts starting, that's going to come out next year.
Yeah, this was pretty cool, man. It's set in the mid-90s?
Yeah, it's going to be a direct follow-up to the Bumblebee movie that came out, like the solo film.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to have a whole host of Beast Wars characters. We're going to get Optimus Primal, Megatron, Cheetor, Air just a whole bunch of characters that I don't think are going to get enough screen time, because that's how every Transformers movie goes when they have like 100 Transformers in it.
Yeah.
So it's cool. They got Ron Perlman to voice Optimus Primal, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, that's solid casting right there.
Yeah. And I had no idea, but Optimus Primal, he was already voiced by Ron Perlman in the YouTube cartoon that they made a little while back. It was made by Machinima, and it's not a good cartoon.
Oh.
It's not. Don't watch it.
Okay.
But he did voice him in that cartoon, which is cool.
Nice. Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. I wouldn't expect the movies to go this route, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I was not ready for Beast Wars to show up in the movies. And I kind of wish it was maybe a Beast Wars only movie, instead of trying to shove them in with Bumblebee and Optimus Prime and the regular Decepticons and stuff. But still fun, still a good time. So I don't know. I'm lukewarm excited. I'm not super stoked, because I've been through this before. I've been through, so, and it sounds like it might be going the direction of the rest of the Transformers and not of Bumblebee. I don't know, where it's there's a ton of robots on screen and they don't get as much screen time separated out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping for good things.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for that. And you said next year?
Yeah, I think it's 2022. They're shooting it currently. They have a bunch of live action actors in it, that I don't remember the names of, because they're all unknowns, all the live action people. There's no Mark Wahlberg in this one. There's no Shia LaBeouf. Seems like all the people in this one are going to be relatively low-key people.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I think I heard they were going to focus more on the Transformers in this one, or is that just
I hope so.
Is that just what people are hoping for?
I think that's what people are hoping for. I hope for that. Because that's what Bumblebee did, right? Bumblebee had a bigger focus on, Bumblebee as a character and stuff, and really fleshed him out a lot more than any of the other movies have done.
Right.
So I'm hoping that's what we get in this one. I think the only bummer that I have about Ron Perlman being casted is they are getting Peter Cullen to come back to be regular Optimus Prime, truck Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer that we can't get the original cartoon voice actor for Primal to come back. Yeah. I thought that was a little bit of a bummer, because it's that's the dream, right? We never got to see them talk to each other on screen ever. So this would have been the first time, and now they're not yet. I'm just and don't get me wrong, Ron Perlman's a great casting. He'll be a great giant monkey robot, but it would have been cool if they could have been Gary Chalk. So, because he's still around. He does stuff. He's in Hollywood. But I think it's going to be a fun time regardless, because all the Transformers movies are at least just fun and exciting. So I'm pretty stoked to see giant space monkey robot fight giant truck robot. So
yeah, I always like the fight scenes in the movies.
Yep, those Mortal Kombat kills in Revenge of the Fallen are dope.
Yeah. And that's not the only thing with Beast Wars coming out soon. As we got the trailer for the Transformers show on Netflix.
Yes, this is the third season, Transformers Kingdom. These seasons have been direct tie-ins with the toy line that has been out currently. So we've been getting a ton of more Beast Wars toys back in the market, and it's really cool getting these redone versions of everybody. The Megatron figure is so good. It's like sublime how good that figure is. But I don't know. This Transformers show is sort of similar to that YouTube series where it's kind of okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Did you listen to the dialogue in the trailer?
No, not really. I just saw clips of it.
Oh man. Optimus Primal says we are from your future. Like it's great. I don't know where they hired their voice actors from, but they're not super awesome. I don't know.
Boy.
And from what I've heard, there's a lot of backstage shenanigans with that because they're trying to hire as many non-union people as possible so that they don't have to pay high money for voice actors. Right? Yeah. So I still think the action looks good, and it's cool to see all of the Beast Wars guys back in animation, like with new designs and stuff. These new Transformers shows have been kind of a mixed bag for me. I think they're really fun. All of the voice acting is like kind of okay. I think Megatron has the best voice actor so far of the show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you watched the first 2 seasons yet? Have you seen any of that?
No, I never got around to watching these.
Okay, they're pretty quick. I think you can almost watch them each as like a movie because they're like 6 episodes and each episode is like 20 minutes. So they're all pretty short.
Oh, well, yeah, that's shorter than I thought.
Yeah, super easy to watch. And this new season of Transformers Kingdom is going to be the same way. It'll be 6 episodes and each one will be about 20 minutes each. So we'll see how in-depth it gets. Their trailers like to tease a lot of things and then have those things pop up for just as much time in the show as they were in the trailer. So,
oh, is that? Yeah, okay. Because I was watching the trailer and I was like, yeah, this looks pretty cool. And then one of the end shots here is it looks like a Decepticon version of Optimus.
Yeah, that's Nemesis Prime. They showed him in the trailer for season 2 also, and in season 2 he shows up for one shot.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I think he'll show up more in this season. I feel like there's like a lead up story to like Optimus turning into Nemesis or something. So it looks pretty interesting from that standpoint. But for the most part, I'm kind of like, it looks good. I'll watch it. I'm a Transformers fan. I'll check it out. I check them all out. It's always a good time.
Well, cool. Yeah, if it's that short, I'll give it a look at too.
Yeah, I would definitely say watch the first 2 seasons first.
Oh yeah.
Season 1's pretty slow. There's a lot of really slow talking. And season 2 picks up the pace a little bit more. So I'm hoping season 3 is where they are finally like, okay, we can actually do a bunch of stuff. You know who all the characters are already. It doesn't matter. We'll just do stuff now. Like, which would be cool. So we shall see how it goes. If you want to do an episode on that later, I'm super down. Like, we can just do it on all 3 seasons.
Yeah, so this final season's coming out July 29th.
Yeah, so super quick. I think all 3 seasons came out over the last year.
Oh.
Like, season 1, I think, came out near the beginning of last year, and then season 2 came out in the fall, and now this is season 3. So I think all of them have been produced pretty close back to back.
And yeah, with that, I think that was it for Transformers news.
I guess the only other thing with the Transformers Rise of the Beasts is that if anybody wants to look it up, they did a whole press release junket deal, and a ton of designs were shown at it, but none of them were released to the public yet. So people have seen what all of the new robots are going to look like and stuff, but we have not. The only one I think that's been popped up is Optimus Primal. His concept design got floated around a little bit, so I'll find it while we're talking about stuff. And
so let's go ahead, swing on over to some DC news. Not a whole lot here either. First, we got some casting for the Green Lantern show, and it's for Sinestro.
Was it confirmed or rumored? I couldn't. I don't remember.
Okay. He's in talks. Yeah. So so Tobias Menzies is reported to play Sinestro in the Green Lantern show.
He's a pretty good choice. I dig it. Like, I think he'll look good as a Purple Man. I just dropped the Optimus Primal design in the chat.
Let me see. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's giant robot monkey.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he looks great. So if all the Maximals look like this, I'm pretty down. I'm into it.
Heck yeah.
So, but yeah, I think the casting for Green Lantern's gonna look good. If Sinestro shows up in the show, that's awesome. I'm always down for more other Lantern characters to pop up and show up, so that's always fun.
After that, Tom Welling was he was at a convention or doing a Q&A not that long ago.
He was doing like a live stream Q&A for something. I saw this news story and I'm pretty stoked about it. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, man, during this live stream, Tom Welling announced that he and Michael Rosenbaum are working on a animated series for Smallville.
Yeah, and it's bringing back a lot of cast members from the original show. I don't know exactly what the list is, but that's what Tom Welling said, is that they're getting the gang back together and stuff. And I was like, I'm down for that, man.
Yeah, he says they're going to try to bring as many people from the original cast as possible back for the project.
And that's pretty dope. I'm into it. I was always a pretty big fan of Smallville growing up, so it'll be nice to have that cast of people back together.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great. Especially it's been can't believe it's been 10 years since that show ended.
It's been 10 years. That's nuts. Oh my gosh, that's insane.
I know it's not live action, but still him playing Superman as Superman. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that. That'll be a good time. I'm wondering, because they're saying Lex is coming back, right? So I'm like, Lex was out of the show for like a long time near the end. Like for those final couple seasons, like Lex wasn't even in it. So I'm curious how they're going to bring Lex back. That's something I'm really interested in.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I mean, that'd be cool. I like him as Lex Luthor. Yeah,
he does a good job, man. I think he's one of the best on-screen Lex Luthors we've had. And he deserves a good time, man. He deserves a good time, and to not have to shave his head.
Yeah. Yeah. We missed him in Crisis, but if he could come back for this, that'd be great.
Maybe this time he'll actually get a paycheck. I don't know.
Yeah. And hopefully this will probably be like on HBO Max.
I hope so. That would be great. Balance out the other terrible animations going up on HBO Max. Goodness.
Yeah. Well, plus if it goes to, the only other place I can see it going to is CW Seed, because that's where some other animated stuff went for the CW stuff.
Yeah. For like Constantine and stuff, and the Deathstroke show. I think
there was the Constantine movie, and then there was a Deathstroke movie that wasn't really tied to Arrow. And then they did one season of Vixen.
Oh, that came out?
That was back during season 3 of Arrow. It was a short run, and they got Grant Gustin and Stephen Amell to do some voice acting.
That's cool.
And the one thing I do remember from that show was, Grant Gustin's not used to being in a recording booth. As you could tell by the way he talks in that show.
Oh, super awkward type of talking?
Yeah, pretty stiff, a little low in the voice. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, but that's where they debuted Vixen, which I don't even think they used that version for the live action debut.
Okay.
I don't remember, so long ago. But yeah, like that stuff, it was fine, but if we could get on HBO Max, that means bigger budget. Hopefully it'll look a lot better, kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd be super into that.
Heck yeah, man. So yeah, I'll patiently wait to see what we get for that.
Hopefully it matches up with another Superman show currently on the air.
Yes, before we move on to Marvel, you started watching the Superman and Lois show.
I did. Superman and Lois is excellent. It's a great show so far. I've watched the first 3 episodes, and it's incredibly wholesome. It's so refreshing as like a thing from CW, because it's just not it's not CW's normal stuff, right? Like their normal thing is strife, problems, issues with everybody. There's drama all over the place. Everyone's sleeping with everybody else or whatever. We are the Flash.
Yeah, I remember early Arrow seasons for sure.
Yeah, right? Like, that's all, like, a huge thing for those shows, but Superman and Lois is like, no, supportive couple, supportive family, Superman's trying to be a really good dad, it's great, I love it, it's awesome, it's such a refreshing change to all the other DC shows currently on CW. I think that it really embodies Superman as a character really well, too. Like, okay, so you know how we were kind of cool on Tyler Hoechlin and the lady playing Lois, right? Like during the Crisis special, like they were kind of just whatever. In this, they're pitch perfect. Like I totally understand why they were casted for the parts they were in now, because they're so good in this show as Lois and Clark. Like Tyler Hoechlin like just nails like the awkward Clark Kent stuff where he has to keep himself a secret all the time. It's perfect. Like, he does all these, like, there's a bit where he gets involved with, like, the football team at Smallville High to help out his kids. He has to carry a water jug out, and he makes it look like the most strenuous thing he's ever done. Like, as Clark.
That's perfect.
It's great. Like, he nails, like, the Christopher Reeve, like, awkwardness, but then he puts his own twist on it. Like, it's beautiful. And I think this is probably the best realized version we've had of Lois Lane on screen, because she's so... well done as Lois being like just a go-getter reporter type that won't take no for an answer, and she's always trying to do the right thing and get the truth out of a story. And I'm like, that's Lois. Like, they got it. They figured it out. And like her relationship and how much her and Clark love each other is so strong. It's something I always wanted to see from like the movie versions of it, and you kind of get it in Justice League. I think that's where you get like the height of the movie version of it. But this version is just from the very beginning. It's just all about love and compassion and hope, and it's great. It's great. Everyone should go watch Superman and Lois. Get it a season 2. It deserves it. It's so good. It's much better than Supergirl and Modern Flash and like all the other shows that are currently on there. It's way better than Batwoman. Holy moly.
Like we said before, Tyler Hoechlin's great Superman. When he showed up on Supergirl, that was pretty cool. And yeah, that was like one of the first things I noticed with Lois in there was how confident she was and how forward she is to being into the situations that's going on in the story. And I was all like, oh, okay, this is different, but it's fun. Like it's definitely a different pace from what I would expect Lois to be doing in a CW show, at least.
Yep. And I love that this show is like, it knows that everyone's seen Superman stuff before, so like it barely touches on the origin story. It's just kind of like that's more of like a framework for who Clark is as a person, rather than like being like the whole crux of like the first season being about his origin again. It's just like, no, you know what happened. I crashed to Earth. There's my parents. We're gonna move past that right now, and we're already at a point in the lives of these characters where Superman's 2 sons are teenagers, so they've already been like a family for quite a number of years, you know. So it's a very interesting new take on Superman as a character, like telling a story like this. Because I don't think we get to see him have children too much in the comic books or anything.
No, I mean, the current run, he has a son.
Oh, yeah, he does, huh? That's right.
Yeah, and he's kind of like best friends with Damian Wayne, I think.
Okay. Yeah, he's like best friends with Batman's kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
The way they handled the origin in the pilot, it's just super fast. Let's just get to the highlights of what it is, and let's move on to the real story. It reminded me of the intro for Incredible Hulk, right? Like the entire origin of how he became the Hulk is in the opening credits. Like that's perfect.
It's very similar to that, and I really dig it. If you can watch it somewhere that's not the CW app, cool, because the CW app just puts ads in every like 5 minutes. It's terrible. It's not a good way to watch the show.
When I watched like Arrow and that stuff, I would be like, oh, we're watching the same commercial again.
Yeah.
In the same episode. Wow.
Very similar. CW needs to fix their website, so that's not a thing.
I wonder where it's going to go, because they have CW has a contract with Netflix for their CW shows where the whole season will pop up, but they did put this on HBO Max for a while before it came back on air. So I wonder where it's going to go.
I think it was like the first like 5 episodes or something were on HBO Max, and then it was like just recently it got taken down, which I thought was a bummer because I was about to watch it on there. But there's other ways. There are other ways to watch things.
Yeah. And there is some news for this show, which I find interesting. It will be resuming on July 13th.
There's 2 more episodes for season 1, I think.
Yeah, so there's currently 11 episodes out. However, it was originally 13 episode season, but they added an extra 2 at the end. So it's going to be 15.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
The actress that played Lois, when she was talking about when it's going to come back, they just finished, or they are currently filming episode 15.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, awesome. Great. That makes me really excited that we're getting more. Yes. Ah, that's great.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, man, that they added extra episodes to the end of a season.
Yeah, I think it's pretty neat. I'm wondering how that's going to translate with the finale. I don't know how that's going to go. I'm thinking about who the villains are because I know a little bit about some spoilery stuff, and I'm like, okay, well that part happens sooner than the end of the season, so maybe they're gonna go with the other one. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because I know you've only seen the first episode, right?
I've been slacking it on watching it when it was on HBO. Yeah, I definitely want to catch up before the finale starts, which should be I think August time, if the math is right on that. As they drop every Tuesday. Cool, man. And then in March, I guess I missed it, but yeah, when CW renewed a bunch of their shows, Superman and Lois was part of that list.
All right.
So we are getting a season 2.
All right. Good. I hope HBO Max stays involved because it seems like that's the thing that makes this a higher quality show. Because the CGI on it is great. I think all the action scenes look really good in all the scenes that they've been in so far. I just really dig it. It's a really good time.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how the quality kept after the pilot because I remember the pilot being extra high quality compared to everything else the CW puts out.
Yeah, it stays high. That
Nice.
that quality sticks around. There's some real good scenes with Superman busting through walls and beating up some bad guys in episode 2 and 3. It's good stuff, man. What do you know about the show so far in episode 1? I'm curious. I'm trying to remember what happens exactly. I watched them all back to back, so it was pretty fast.
Oh, okay, yeah. All I remember is the pilot, which is they find out one of Clark's sons gets powers, and they have to move back to Smallville on the farm after Ma Kent dies, and then it ends with the teaser of this new villain, which is Lex Luthor, which I'm guessing is from a different universe, right? I think that's what it was.
You are correct. Specifically, this is it's a little tiny spoiler, but I don't think it's too impactful. He is the Lex Luthor from the planet with the black suit Superman from the Supergirl TV show. Evil alternate Earth
he's
Superman.
So he's from Elseworlds.
Yeah, he's from that one.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm really stoked. I was like, oh, he's not the Luthor we know. He's a different guy. Ooh. So there's a little bit of intrigue going on with him, which is like, I think he's going to be the character who kind of has more going on later, maybe? Like, he might be the one that is concerned with new episodes for the finale, like the new season ender. So I don't know, though. Because there is another villain in the show, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. Because there is another bad guy, and I found out some stuff about him. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's neat. It's a neat spin.
Yeah, that makes sense because you kind of want to save the big bad for the end, right? Like get heavy focused on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's looking good, man. I'm pretty stoked about it. I love that they have like references to the old stuff. Like the Fleischer suit looks great.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
That opening scene where he like drops the car down and stuff is just it's beautiful. Chef's kiss. I'm like, that's how you do Superman. That's it right there. They got it. They nailed it. And that's how I feel about this show, man. It just feels like it's a really good Superman series. And I think that they learned a lot from the mistakes of other CW series, and they're just doing a good old fashioned Superman story. And there are definitely points where it feels like it's going to drop back down into the territory of CW drama stuff, but it never stays there too long. Like, it doesn't linger in it, which is nice. This seems to be like almost like CW and HBO Max like have like watched Jupiter's Legacy, and they were like, we can do that but better. Which is fun, because Superman is just he's so in touch with the shortcomings that he has as a dad because he is Superman, and he's trying to fix that like the whole time. And I think that's really cool. And it leads to just some really wholesome moments between him and his sons, and it's good stuff. It's a good story. That's
exactly what I want to hear, man.
Yep, it's good stuff, man. And I love both the kids too. I thought that I was gonna have issues with the acting from the sons, but I think they're both great. I think they both have a good range, and I love the twists on some of the stuff that happens with them and stuff. Like, it goes to places that feel very natural and not just angsty teenager stuff like what would be expected. I think this show does a good job of subverting that kind of expectation.
Oh, that's good, because I think I remember saying that, I kind of feel like where it's going with the kids, and that it's stuff that they're not going to do, then that's great.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like it could go to a place where like there's going to be a lot of issues between the brothers and stuff. There is for like a second, but then it's just like, we're going to work it out because we're brothers and we've known each other for this long and we're twins, and like they support each other through all the stuff. Like they don't ever hate each other for their gifts or their shortcomings or anything. It's always just about supporting each other and being a wholesome brotherhood type of deal. Like, it's very cool. If anybody hasn't watched Superman and Lois, please go check it out. It's excellent superhero stuff. It's a huge breath of fresh air from like all the cynicism of superhero shows we've been getting. Like Superman in this is never depressed or sad. Like, he has sad moments, but he's always bouncing back, and he's Superman. Like, it's how you would expect him to be through some of this stuff, that he's always looking at the brighter side of things, and that's not portrayed as a bad thing in the show.
Yeah, so we'll come back around when the show ends, go more deep into that.
Yeah, I'm super down. I definitely am gonna watch the whole series.
So I think with that, that wraps up DC pretty much. Other than the announcement that they started filming for Aquaman 2, so that's cool. So we'll patiently wait for set photos, and I guess we'll see if Amber Heard is there, right? I don't think they said she's not working on it, right?
I have no idea what the status of her working in the movie is. It would be kind of neat if they were just like, who's Mara? And they just like don't even talk about her in the movie. So that would be kind of funny, but I feel like she might still be in it. I never had a problem with them recasting it like to Emilia Clarke or whatever. Like, I think she would be fine as Mara.
Yeah, it's interesting that Warner Brothers never really came out and said anything about it as far as I've seen.
Yep.
Versus not Disney, but I guess Universal that owns Harry Potter, right?
Oh no, that's Warner Brothers also.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers does Harry Potter. Yep.
And then them talking about, them letting go of Johnny Depp and all that.
And making such a big deal about recasting Grindelwald, and it's pretty interesting where they put their eggs in their baskets. I don't know.
Yeah, so especially with the, not to get too deep into it, but there was a lot of talk on Twitter about it, of them saying like, hey, how come so and so is still Mara and all of that.
Warner Brothers, I don't think they look at Twitter, because Twitter has also been the whole Restore the Snyderverse deal, and that doesn't seem to be doing anything. I don't think Warner Brothers looks at Twitter, man. I actively don't think they look at it.
Yeah, it makes sense now. You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing. The Twitter mobs don't affect Warner Brothers because they don't read the website, so...
Nevertheless, I'm still excited for that movie, so...
Yeah, it'll still be a good time. I'm hoping Willem Dafoe shows back up. Pretty excited for Orm to come back.
Oh, man, that's probably what I want to look forward to the most, is what's he doing post the first movie.
Yep, I want to see some King Orm stuff. I want to see some more Black Manta Got to see Black Manta with the weird marine biologist man, right? Whoever.
Oh,
whoever
right. That was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Jimmy Woo. Yeah.
Yep. He's in Marvel and DC, man. What a deal. What a deal.
Yeah, I imagine we'll get some set photos real soon. But all right, man, let's go ahead and swing on over to some Marvel stuff. We did get some trailers, and of course there is Loki and other stuff. But we could talk about there's some leaks and things that popped up for other movies. So I guess real quick, we got concept art for Eternals, which is, and it was for the Deviants that they're gonna fight. Which they're just monsters. They're not like people or anything.
You remember when they said Thanos was a deviant? And I'm like, oh, okay, deviants. So they're all going to be like weird god creatures, but they're just dudes. Everything about Eternals is so boring.
Yeah, it's kind of like this is what you would expect from this kind of ensemble cast with the premise, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. It's just weird because it feels like they're almost copying Shazam's design style with these monsters, right? Because like you got the 7 deadly sins, and like they have very specific designs because of which sin they are and stuff. And like they're monstrous because they're the antithesis to Shazam, right? Like there's a reason that they exist and they look the way they do, is because Shazam is supposed to be like the best of humankind, and these things are like the worst. Like, you know, there's a whole conceptual thing behind that, but these things are just things. And I don't know what they're supposed to be. I don't know. And I guess they matched that Crow action figure that we saw.
But it's one of those things where, I mean, if they're going to be fighting creatures, that's not really that engaging, I guess, as far as like the choreography goes.
I mean, yeah, like what? So they're all going to be fighting with like weird orange energy weapons, and then fighting these weird amorphous monster things. I don't know. Like, there's just nothing to these, man. They're just like skeletal monster. Gosh, I wish there was something else going on here, because it's just I just don't even have a lot to talk about with it.
Yeah, it's like we said before, nothing interesting coming out of this film. I mean, maybe the second trailer can look better, but
I just want to see what Black Knight looks like, man. That's all I want to see. I want to know what his armor looks like. I'm like, you want to reveal something or leak something cool? Leak what Black Knight's going to look like. That's what I want. Because at this point, I don't really care about the Eternals, but I do care about Black Knight, because his backstory is cool. Cursed blade from his father that he has to wield to fight demons or something, and I'm like, just give me a movie about him. I don't need a movie about the Eternals. Just give me a movie about Black Knight. I'm theorizing right now. Black Knight's going to be the standout from the film. I think he's going to take the movie.
Yeah, I hope so. That's our boy, Jon Snow, after all.
That's right. Can't have Robb Stark taking all the spotlight, right?
Yeah. But let's hope that his design is pretty good and not overcomplicated like another leak we got, which was for Spider-Man.
Oh my God.
And seeing that he is getting 2 new suits, of course, because they have to keep changing the suits with Spider-Man.
Yeah, you gotta sell more toys, man. You gotta sell more toys. Gotta sell all the toys.
Yeah.
They've already and they revealed officially a bunch of toys. So like, I don't think the Funko Pops were leaks. I think those are official reveals at this point.
Oh, really?
I think. I could be wrong though.
Well, yeah, let's dive into it, man. Tom Holland's new suits. One is a black with gold webbing on it, which I think that's fine. It definitely looks like the one you can get in the Miles Morales game.
Somebody had I saw somebody do a comparison shot just to like theorize a little bit that it could be a Doc Ock suit.
Oh, like in the Spider-Man game?
Yeah, kind of, because it kind of resembles that one, like a little bit, just from like the color scheme of it. And I was just like, maybe, but why would Doc Ock in this movie build Peter a suit? Like, I don't know if he's supposed to be the Dr. Octopus from the Tobey Maguire
Spider-Man
universe
2.
or whatever. Yeah, I don't know why he would be building Spidey suits for Spider. That doesn't make sense. I think it's solely based on the look of it to like match up with that. Maybe
it just makes me think like, why would he get 2 suits in the movie though?
Could be a stealth suit. I feel like they might be doing a similar deal like with
Just do it.
the Night Monkey suit from the last movie.
Yeah, just do it again, I guess.
Yeah, it's like poetry. It rhymes. So I don't know. A stealth suit could be cool, or maybe it's some type of suit that's like it's like specifically built to like traverse dimensional things or something. I don't know, like if that's a part of what's going on, or maybe it's an electric resistant suit because he's going to be fighting Electro.
Oh, yeah, that's right, huh? That
Yeah.
could be it too. Okay, yeah, I'd be. You know what? Okay, yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah, like I think there's ways that can work that one into the story pretty good. It's the other suit that I don't care about. I don't.
Yeah, so the second suit is basically just an upgraded version of the nanotech suit he's been wearing. It just looks like there's a lot going on with the colors here. You know, black, red, and gold. I mean, yeah, it looks okay.
It looks like a weird combo between the Iron Spider and the other one.
They could have just stuck with what it looked like.
Yeah, I don't know why the suit couldn't have just stayed around from the last one, the Far From Home suit that he built. But I guess that one's also going to be in this movie.
Oh, right, looking at the toys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Funko Pops, yeah, I guess they are up for pre-order, and I guess that was an official reveal. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I think the only interesting thing about the gold suit is that on the Funko Pop, he's using Doctor Strange magic. Like.
Yeah. So on the chest piece on the spider, as well as his web shooter, there are the magic circles that Doctor Strange uses for his magic. So he's shooting magic webs, I guess, with the nano suit on.
I have no idea what's happening in this movie at this point from all these leaks and stuff, man.
Yeah, because we also get a look at the Funko Pop for Doctor Strange, who is holding a shovel and is just wearing normal-ish clothes with this cloak.
Yeah, he's wearing like snowshoes and stuff. It makes me wonder if maybe part of this is going to take place at Christmas time, because we haven't really seen that in like a Spider-Man movie yet. We've seen it in like the shows and stuff, or in like the games, but I don't think we've seen it in the movies yet, right?
Don't think so, no.
Okay, so that could be kind of interesting, like Christmas in New York type of deal. Maybe that's like Doctor Strange is shoveling snow outside of the place.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this movie is going to be doing with all these characters.
It looks like the new Spidey suit. Okay, so what I'm taking away from this is that the gold that's on the suit is going to become the spider legs off his back. Like, and that's just based off of one
based
of
off
these
the
toys.
toy.
You see,
yeah.
Like this toy has a swappable chest piece, like a chest piece you can throw onto it that doesn't have the gold spider on it, and then the gold spider legs are deployed off the back. So I think that might be what's going on with that suit. And
Okay.
if that's how it's working, think I'm okay with that. I think that's a good way to incorporate the gold legs into the Far From Home design.
Oh, does he maybe have the Far From Home suit under it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And then the legs have to pull away, kind of like how Tony, when he was fighting Thanos, how like as he was losing pieces, the armor was falling apart as he tried to reconstruct like the arm piece to fight. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, if that's how it works, I'm cool with that. That actually sounds pretty neat.
The only difference between this and what we saw in Endgame is the spider symbol was black and not gold.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen when he pulled out the legs, when he was wearing it in Infinity War and in Endgame.
That design of the suit didn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. But if it's falling apart like that, then yeah, I think that'd be good.
Yeah, I'd be pretty into it. I like that we're getting a Jonah Jameson figure.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, bald, angry Jonah Jameson looks good. If anybody wants to customize that into a Justice League Commissioner Gordon, they just got to add some hair and glasses onto it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The new Doctor Strange figure looks pretty good. Nothing really different about it, design-wise, from the other stuff. It just looks like a better version of those figures. And I don't think these other toys reveal anything. Like, I don't think he's gonna drive a motorcycle in the movie. I can't imagine this being a thing.
Who, Spider-Man or
Spider-Man? Yeah, there's a motorcycle toy here called the The jet web cycle.
I mean, there was that car commercial, right, for Homecoming?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Was that Homecoming or Far From Home?
It's
One of those movies.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
And then all the Disney Plus shows just got car commercials, so that was weird.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, real weird.
Yeah.
I didn't really... I was like, what?
Strange times, man.
I don't know if this leak is legit. That can't be real. There was a leak for other Funko Pops that shows an Andrew Garfield one and a Tobey Maguire one with a Tom Holland Funko Pop, but it looks very fake. So.
I mean, I'll just say that was part of this leak for the script was, of course, that the boys will be in there.
Oh, okay.
Thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. The Lego set from this is interesting.
Oh, yeah, it's like...
It's like Doctor Strange's house. Like it's inside the Sanctum.
And I'm guessing that's Scorpion on the bottom?
Yeah, it says Spider-Man at the Sanctum Workshop. And it's got Ned... Or no, it's got Spider-Man, MJ, Doctor Strange, and Wong. And Wong is in like super cash clothes on the minifigure. And I guess that's Scorpion. Looks like they're going for an Into the Spider-Verse more, where he's more of a monster Scorpion than like the guy in a robot suit. The Lego sets have been known to be fake a lot. Like there's that Iron Man 3 Lego set where it's like the Mandarin chase or something. And it's like Mandarin driving in a truck with like a rocket launcher. And like that never happens in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and then they got a big No Way Home box set right here that just has characters from all 3 of the movies in it. It's got like his original homemade suit. It's got Iron Man suit from Homecoming. It's got Vulture. It's got the newer suit,
right
Night
here.
Monkey. Wait a minute. This Lego set has Vulture being chased by Spider-Man with a giant spider robot?
Yeah, I was looking at that.
What is this? What? What? Is this gonna...
I mean, I'll say that I know the Lego sets can be pretty wild, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna theorize based off of Lego sets. It's too dangerous. Boy. It's weird that Doctor Strange has the Eye of Agamotto again in all of these pictures. Like on all the Funko Pops and stuff. I think that's the thing I'm the most interested in is what's the purpose of him having it.
Like, what's in it?
Yeah, because obviously he doesn't have the Time Stone, right? Because it got destroyed.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, and I don't think he could have put it back together. So that's like the biggest thing I think I'm interested in finding out about is that.
Mainly Doctor Strange stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, pretty much the Doctor Strange stuff. Yep.
Yeah, as we find out, it's popping up in more places than Spider-Man. If we can move on to the Shang-Chi trailer.
Shang-Chi. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, there was...
Looking pretty good.
Yeah, new trailer dropped, and yeah, I'm still thinking like it'll probably be a good one, you know?
Yeah.
And
I just don't like the 10 rings like themselves. I just don't like
they look so boring.
Generic. So generic as a weapon, as like an object. I'm not into it.
Yeah, it's more like, oh, this is technology
Yep.
rather than just magic, right?
Yeah, it doesn't come off to me as something ancient.
Yeah.
Or I guess like it could still be like an alien thing because that's what they are. Is they're alien creations,
Okay.
right? Like they're rings from space or whatever. So I'm like, okay, yeah, these look like something that would pop up in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'd be more willing to accept that.
Yeah. I just wish they were actually rings on a finger. I don't know, but maybe they can't do that visual because of some weird copyright thing with Green Lantern. I have no idea if that's a thing or not.
Right.
Yep. So that could be a thing, but I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, it's looking pretty cool, but some of the hypest thing that blew up on Twitter was the cage fight scene we see towards the end of this trailer with Wong from Doctor Strange as he's fighting none other than Abomination from the Incredible Hulk.
Thought that was really weird. I guess he got out of the raft. I don't...
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, so he escaped the raft, because that's where we know he is.
Yep.
But I will say, I don't think that's mentioned in the movies. That's something we learn outside of the films, right?
Yeah, I think it's something that could be, like, kind of let go of, like, because it's just a detail that producers talked about or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, they could rewrite that if they really wanted to. Like, just have him be out and about somewhere.
Yeah. But then again, there was the 5-year time skip during the snap,
yeah,
so
that's
maybe
true. Maybe he got out
that
of the
could
raft.
play into something.
He got out of the raft during the time skip. That could be a thing. I'm wondering how much the time skip is going to affect Shang-Chi as a movie. I'm curious. I know that's been like a big thing of Phase 4 is that they've all had some interaction with the snap happening and stuff. But I'm just curious what's going to happen going forward with it, I guess.
Yeah, I think they're still doing a lot of setup before the next big wild thing, and then they could move past the time skip stuff.
Yeah.
And the snap. Yeah.
Do we know if Tim Roth is coming back to play Abomination again? Because I think a lot of people are just assuming that it's Tim Roth that's coming back, but I haven't.
But it's CG monster.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it confirmed anywhere that Tim
see.
Roth is actually involved. Oh yeah, it says it is also unknown if Tim Roth will actually appear in Shang-Chi, if his character will be in his CGI Abomination form the whole time. There you go, right there in one of these articles that I found. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, all we got was Feige confirming that it was Abomination in this cage fight. Looking at him, people notice he's getting his more traditional comic book look with the fins on his head.
He's got an interesting combination going on here. But I dig it a lot. Ooh, this is a nice bright picture of it too.
It was cool to see this trailer come out and just to see everybody on Twitter, at least from what I saw, saying like, yeah, Incredible Hulk is a great film. Definitely one of the best of the early Marvel stuff. And I'm like, yes, finally, people are starting to realize that.
Yeah,
right?
It's like it's finally clicking for people that it's like, oh yeah, that was a pretty good Marvel movie. And I'm like, it was. So I just posted a link in the chat. It's got a nice bright picture of Abomination right there.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, he looks really good. And I like that it's a good blend of the Abomination from the Incredible Hulk and the comic book version. Like it's got like elements of both in it going on. I dig it. It's a good design. I hope he's not just in that scene and that's it. Like that.
It might be, man. Like I mean, hey, it's cool that we see him and the fact that Wong's in there too. I wasn't expecting any cameos, honestly, in Shang-Chi.
I don't want to get into too much about Black Widow yet because nobody's seen it except for the people who are at the premiere stuff. But not a ton of cameos in that one either. Actually, pretty cameo free in that one, which I really dug about it. I thought it was a nice change of pace to just be like, oh, it's by itself.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. But yeah, it's cool. We see Wong's gonna fight him. I guess they've been on Wong and Strange are kind of working with the Avengers more, right? Post Endgame is what I could imagine. That's one thing we haven't had talk of is what's Doctor Strange doing, right?
Yeah, like I'd like to see where Doctor Strange is at after all this stuff has gone down. Like that would be nice.
So like if he put Wong to go find Abomination because he escaped the raft, I think that's pretty cool. Cause
that'd be a neat way to do it. It would be weird if Wong was just like out and about and just like if he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go cage fight. Like, like that would be really weird. Like if he's just entering himself into competitions because he's bored.
Yeah, that's the thing with this, right? Like it's cool that we're gonna see them fight, but like it's a cage match at the same time, which is a cool idea. But like continuity wise, like what does that even mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like how does that translate to? It's really strange. Pretty neat stuff, though. I think all the fight scenes are looking pretty good too. I love that there's a dragon in it. We've been told it's not Fin Fang Foom, but I'm just gonna wait and see, because
we got a Funko Pop reveal for this dragon.
Yeah, it's like the guardian of whatever or something, right? Like,
yeah, it's like this white dragon. Here it is. What's his name? Yeah, the Great Protector.
Yeah, that's original. That's a good one. I would much rather that be Fin Fang Foom. I guess we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, I mean, what would you even say Fin Fang Foom for, you know?
Yeah, other than, like, this movie. Like this is the movie to do him in. Like, I don't know. Like,
maybe Guardians 3?
I guess. Is he a space dragon? I thought he was more of a Earth-based guy.
I mean, I remember reading one of those... I think it was like it was Guardians team up, I think, where it was like Avengers and Guardian members doing adventures, and there was one with Fin Fang Foom they had to deal with.
Ah, okay.
I guess. It's been a long time, but...
Oh, yeah, no, he is an alien. Okay. I just looked him up right now. Fin Fang Foom is a Makulan, a shape-shifting alien being from the world Kakaranthara. That's a really hard name to say.
Mm-hmm.
Also known as Maklu 4 in the Maklu system. He resembles a somewhat anthropomorphic Chinese dragon. Interesting. He could still pop up in this movie if they wanted him to.
Yeah, why not just go all out? You know, like we were saying in the chat, like I think that'd be fine if we go big and wacky with some of the stuff, right? I
mean, unless they're planning to save Fin Fang Foom for a second Shang-Chi movie, like if Shang-Chi's planning to get a sequel and they save him for that, like that could be a thing.
Okay, yeah.
Like that would be cool. It says here in this part there's like a story way back where the Mandarin woke him up to threaten the Chinese government.
Oh,
yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, so that's cool. But it backfires on him, and then Mandarin has to work with Iron Man to stop Fin Fang Foom from taking over Earth with the aliens. Oh, the Justice League fought Fin Fang Foom. Like when they crossed dimensions, they fought Fin Fang Foom once. That's neat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's going to be a bummer if they don't do him, if it's just some generic dragon, because I feel like they should just go whole hog and do Fin Fang Foom. Because he's cool. He's a neat character, real kooky. And he's got connections to all over the Marvel universe, like of all the different characters he's hung out with. So like the energy stuff that they're fighting with later looks kind of like Doctor Strange's energy whips. I thought that was kind of interesting. So maybe there's going to be some crossover there. Like it would be kind of neat to see Shang-Chi. What would be cool is if Wong trained Shang-Chi a little bit in some of the mystic arts. Like that would be kind of neat.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
if he could get some involvement there. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, they did Fin Fang Foom. He's on the MODOK show. Oh.
I guess he would be on that show, huh?
Yeah. Oh, he's a waiter at a Chinese food restaurant.
Yep, that sounds like that show.
Because that's how they should use that character. Man.
Well, hey, man, like I said before, I've heard a lot of people get advertisements for that show, and then they never talked about it.
Yeah.
So
I haven't heard anything about MODOK. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. We're not going to watch it. Everybody out there, I'm not watching it, at least. I don't know about you, Danny, but I'm not watching it.
Only saw the trailer, and I think that's all I needed.
All right. That's it. And there's your review for MODOK, everybody.
It's right on, man. We did get another trailer, which was today, before we recorded, and that was for Marvel's What If.
Yeah! Definitely taking a different turn than what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, so we pretty much get a look at everything that we've been hearing about for the show, right? Like all the alternate versions of characters and all that stuff.
Yep.
I gotta say, yeah, it's looking cool.
Yeah, I dig. I kind of dig the more connected concept of it. I was kind of stoked for it to just be a show where every episode was like a one-off about like a what if story, but having an interconnected story is going to be kind of interesting. And it's like Doctor Strange is supposed to be evil, but he's not evil in the trailer, and he's talking to like Captain Carter and stuff, and then like Killmonger finds Iron Man, which I thought was really weird.
But it's interesting though.
It's interesting. It's just like, but like, how does that work out timeline wise? Because that's like Killmonger wouldn't have been that age during the first Iron Man.
Well, I think continuity wise, Iron Man was still like 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, right? Like 10 years.
Was it that long ago?
About 10 years before Black Panther, so like Killmonger would...
Is it 10 years before?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, Avengers would be 2012, I think they said it to, right?
All right, let me pull this up here real quick, because I gotta see exactly what the timeline's looking like here.
That was a thing, right, with Phase 1, they called it the Big Week or whatever?
Yeah.
Where all the films except Iron Man 1 took place in the same week.
Yeah, like the biggest weekend or something.
Because I know between Iron Man 1 and 2, that was like 1 year. I know there's a fantastic like 3-hour video on YouTube explaining the full timeline of the MCU.
Oh my gosh! Well, we don't got time to watch that one.
No, yeah. Let's see. Oof, this is a big one right here.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to look at. I just want to see where Black Panther takes place. Okay, here we go. Iron Man 1 takes place... This says February 2009 to December 2009. The first Iron Man. And then Black Panther takes place in 2017. So almost a 10-year gap. Like 8 years in between the two movies. So I guess Killmonger could look like that? I guess?
Well, I mean, he was in the army for a long time.
Yeah?
Right? And then he became like a...
He's a mercenary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that fits. Yeah, that's going to be interesting how they explain the Killmonger one. I think that's the one that's the weirdest one to me so far. And I'm a little bummed that the Iron Man story we're getting isn't him on Sakaar, it's him with Killmonger. I don't know. I would have much rather had Iron Man hanging out with Jeff Goldblum than Killmonger.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that feels a lot more entertaining to me. But I like I dig the vibe of the Black Panther, like T'Challa being with Yondu stuff. Like I dig that.
So there's that shot of Doctor Strange, and it looks like he's talking to... Well, he could be talking of one of two people. There's like... It's that shot of him looking, and then there's the shadow behind him of, I guess, the person he's looking at. And it kind of looks like the Watcher, Uatu, that we saw in Guardians, those people. And then it looks like we got a shot of Thor 1 with Hawkeye and Thor again. That's cool.
And then you've got, like, Asgardians facing down military personnel with Loki in the lead.
Yeah.
Visions. Oh, hey. Oh, my God. Howard the Duck is in this. Get out of here.
Yes, he's going to be hanging out with T'Challa.
What?
Yeah, because I think it looked like T'Challa went to the Collector, as we saw him pop up for a split second as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Is Howard the Duck going to be T'Challa's rocket? Because that would be...
Oh, that'd be great.
Would be amazing. Like, I would love that. Like, I think Captain Carter looks really good. With her, like, doing all her flying and dancing around, and, like, how she uses a sword and stuff looks cool.
Yeah, and they got, like, this Ironmonger person with them, too. Yep. I forget... what was the name again for it? The...
like the Nazi Stomper or something? I forget what the name was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, there's Ultron robots. That was kind of neat.
Yeah, we're going through a lot of the movies. There's the shot for Iron Man 2 when Tony's on the donut. We see Captain Marvel doing nothing, which is yep.
That's not an alternate timeline. That's the main timeline. Yep. What? Where's that at? What shot is that?
That was like 126 or 7. Yeah, 127. It's just her holding her wrist. It doesn't look... Well, I mean, like, Iron Man doesn't look different either, but yeah, she doesn't look different.
Black Widow on a motorcycle. We got zombie Iron Man, which is cool.
Yeah, the Marvel zombie stuff, that's going to be cool to see.
Oh, Ego shows back up. Oh, yes, that's cool. Okay, I just noticed Ego was in there. I saw a Scarlet Witch shot. There's Loki. Vision pulling the stone out of his own head looks kind of crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, did you see that part? And also,
yeah, I was just slowly going through.
And also, there's a Tony head in a jar, without facial hair.
Oh, wow.
Like he's clean shaven, but he's a head in a jar. So that's kind of neat. And also, I thought something that was a big bummer. Robert Downey Jr. did not come back for this.
Yeah, that sucks. Because I did notice we got Michael Rooker to come back.
Yep, I think they got pretty much everybody but Robert Downey to come back for this. Which is a bummer, because I thought they had confirmed that he was coming back, and I guess I was wrong.
It was in a lot of talks. Yep. I remember that, of saying, like, is he coming back? That'd be great, kind of thing. But I guess it was all just up in the air.
There's a shot here of Black Widow throwing Red Guardian's shield. So she's like Red Guardian.
That's cool.
That's neat. Like, I'm into that. It's like at like 130, like 134. There's a shot of her flinging the shield, which looks pretty good. And nice. She's in like super like combat stuff going on. Oh yeah, we got a little shot of Bruce Banner right there screaming at the camera. Okay. Oh my god, yeah, the Robert Downey Jr. head in a jar is great. That's super funny.
Yeah, there's the shot of, it looks like Infinity War Bucky, and he has to fight the zombie Steve.
Yep. I wonder how this is all going to interconnect. I'm very curious.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Like, are they going to keep doing the same structure for the MCU with this What If series?
Yeah, I don't know. Wait a minute. Who are they fighting in this part? Is that Adam Warlock? Are they really going to do Adam Warlock in this? Oh no, it's the Collector. Never mind, it's the Collector. They're punching the Collector in the face. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
And the Collector has like weird body armor stuff going on, like augmented body stuff, and it's like Yondu and T'Challa beating him up. This is okay. I think I'm pretty interested in this, man. This is looking pretty good.
Yeah, and then we got the ending shot of Doctor Strange fighting his evil self. Probably going to be the crux to the whole plot, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like Doctor Strange might be like the main guy of this show.
Yeah, because it looks like he gets confronted by the Watcher, right? So maybe the Watcher has a job for him.
Yeah, it looks like Killmonger's leading the army against the Ultron robots. We get like a clean-shaven Thor there for a minute, which is weird.
Yeah, that's Thor 1, I think.
Okay.
Because later in the trailer, there's that shot of him jumping off of the not the balcony, but like the railing to go get Mjolnir. That's in the S.H.I.E.L.D. camp.
Okay. This trailer's got a lot of stuff going on, man. Do you think the place that Uatu's taking Doctor Strange to near the beginning of the trailer is the Tree of Life? Like, is that supposed to be Yggdrasil?
Oh, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, and it's like a giant library deal. And Doctor Strange has the time stone in this, obviously.
Yeah, as we saw in the opening shot, right?
The shot that changes over to, like, from the Avengers circle around to, like, the new people, has Killmonger, Gamora, T'Challa, Star-Lord, and Thor with no facial hair. Pretty sure this is gonna be the Ultron battle. If I had to theorize about it, I would guess that's probably the Ultron fight. Yeah, because they have clean-shaven Thor smacking down an Ultron robot at, like, the Stark Expo, like, at 52 seconds. Okay, that's cool. I wonder if it'll be, like, 3 main storylines that we follow. Like, maybe they'll each be, like, 2 episodes or something.
Yeah, I mean, based on this, it looks like Doctor Strange, T'Challa, and Captain Carter are probably the biggest focuses.
Seems about right.
Do we know how many episodes?
I'm not sure.
10 episodes.
Oh, nice. So this is going to be a little bit longer. I wonder if these will all be like 20 or 30-minute episodes, though.
Yeah, it is animated, too. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, CG, but yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I guess they're going to do a season 2.
Are they really?
According to Wikipedia, season 2 will also consist of 10 episodes. Oh, yeah. So Feige said that they're already working on the next 10 for season 2.
Nice. Okay.
This was a while back. Yeah.
Yeah, this is taking a little while to come out. Like, I feel like this probably could have come out a lot sooner. But still, really looks pretty good. I don't know. Animation looks decent, so.
Roll right on, man. With that, we could go ahead and move on to what you did this prior week, which is the Black Widow event, or the premiere.
Yeah, we got to go to the I got invited again by Marvel. Super appreciative. Thank you again, Marvel Studios. You guys are always awesome. Sending emails out to get us out there. Me, my girlfriend, and my buddy Leo got to go to the Black Widow red carpet premiere event. Originally I invited Danny, but he sadly couldn't make it. Just didn't work out schedule wise. But we'll get him out to the next one. We'll get him out to Shang-Chi. Or something. I don't know. We'll figure out what the next one
something,
is.
Something,
yeah. But it was a pretty fun time. We didn't get to see any of the actors. They were all at other events because what happened is they did 4 different red carpet premieres all around the world on the same day. So they did one here in LA, they did one in New York, they did one in Australia, and then they did one in London. All the actors were at the other ones.
Yeah, okay.
So we got to see all the costumes and stuff. They had those set up at our theater. We got to take some cool pictures at the front and everything. And then instead of seeing the actors, we got to see Kevin Feige and the production team.
Well, I mean, that's still cool.
It's still pretty neat. And then Madison actually got to talk one-on-one with the executive producer lady who's been working on all the movies for forever, Victoria Alonso. She's been working on...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's been working on these movies since Iron Man 1. So that was pretty neat to get a little one-on-one moment with her. And otherwise, the event was really fun. We got a bunch of free swag. We got like a little backpack. We got socks. We got pins. We got little cakes. We got hats, which Kevin Feige was not wearing a Black Widow hat. He was just wearing a regular hat. And I was like, there was literally like 1,000 free ones outside. Why didn't you just grab one of those? Yeah, because Kevin Feige likes his themed baseball caps, man. That's like his big thing.
Yeah, he's always wearing.
Yeah, that's where he stores all his power, right? Like, is underneath the baseball cap. If he removes the cap, he loses the power. But it was all in all, it was a really fun time. We saw a bunch of other cosplayers. We all dressed up as Captain America, Black Widow, and Bucky, and got a ton of photos. We found some official pictures that got taken of us at the event and stuff. So we had a really great time. Overall thoughts on the movie, I thought it was very fun. I like that it's not super connected to the other stuff, and it's the Black Widow movie that I think she finally deserved. There are things that I wish could be a little different. I think there's parts where the Marvel humor, goes too far, which, that happens now. That's just the thing. Red Guardian is my new favorite MCU character. He's great. Definitely stole the show for me out of all the characters in the movie.
Oh, nice.
Taskmaster is my least interesting part of the movie to me. I think other people will probably like it. Yeah, that's all I'll say about Taskmaster.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah.
It's definitely not what I was expecting. If you liked Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, you'll like Taskmaster. If you didn't like Ghost, you probably won't like Taskmaster. That's what I'll say. I think that's a good way to put it. Otherwise, I think the movie was pretty good. All the action scenes came off pretty solid. I loved all the acting in it. Again, like really good family vibes, kind of like Superman and Lois had some good family dynamic stuff going on with Natasha and like her Russian family people. So I would recommend it. I'd say go check it out. It was also just really good to see a new Marvel movie in a theater again. That was really fun with like a whole crowd of people. So that was pretty neat. Overall, fun time.
Nice. And yeah, I'll be seeing that this weekend as it comes out. So we'll be back real soon to go more in depth about the movie.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know if it's the hype of me seeing it at the premiere or whatever. But I did genuinely enjoy the movie. I thought it was a good time. I can see the shortcomings and I see the issues with it, like in some places. But I think overall, like this kind of hits the same notes for me as a lot of the stuff from Phase 2 is what I was telling Danny and the other guys in the chat. I think it kind of fits in there pretty good, even though, it doesn't take place in Phase 2. I'm just saying the tone and the style of it feel very Phase 2 as a movie. And a lot of stuff in the movie's practical, which I dig a lot. There's a lot of practical effects in the movie, which is great. The ending is definitely a big CGI explosion thing, as per every Marvel movie. But the first half of the movie, good practical stunt work, all like assassins doing crazy stuff and everything. And it's a good time. It's a good time.
Nice, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's cool, man. Yeah, next time I got to go to one of those premieres.
Yeah, we got to get you out to one. It's a blast, man. I always think they're super fun. Even if not like all the actors and stuff show up, I still think they're a real treat, man. Like, and this one felt very fan oriented. Like this whole thing was like set up for like fans to walk down the red carpet and get pictures taken of them, and I'm like, that's great. That's a real nice change to how they handled the Endgame premiere. So it was,
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I think that this one's probably my favorite that I've been to so far, other than the Shazam one. Like this like experience wise, like this premiere was right on the level of Shazam. Even though we didn't get to see like the actors and stuff, I still thought it was a very good time.
Well, all right. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and dive into these episodes for Loki. Last time we talked the first 2 episodes, so now we're going through 3 through 5 as we're getting ready for the finale next week.
Yes, which I'm almost bummed about, man. I like this show a lot. I wish it wasn't just 6 episodes. This one's been really fun.
Yeah, there's really... I want more moments Like there's definitely a lot of hits that I was liking in these episodes.
Oh, yeah. I just think episode 3 is a bummer. I don't like episode 3. That's the Lamentus episode. That's the only episode of so far that has been a total, like, I just didn't like it. And Madison felt the same way. Like, we were both in the same boat of, like, this episode was kind of boring.
Yeah, I think a good amount of people didn't really like that episode from what I was hearing.
Yeah.
Or they thought it was just okay, and like some things just didn't kind of make sense. Like one point I heard that made sense was like, well, if they're in a place that's about to get destroyed, why are we going through this slow pacing?
Exactly. Shouldn't
the urgency be to get there now?
They should be getting there as quickly as possible. That is the episode that felt the most to me like a Doctor Who episode, because that's kind of how Doctor Who episodes are paced. Even when there's like a big world-ending thing that's about to happen, like the Doctor takes his time to do stuff, which is how this one felt quite a bit. That Loki and Sylvie were just taking their time. It did have a really good Loki moment in it where Loki sings in Old Norse, which is great.
That was probably my favorite part of the episode.
I loved that. I thought that was awesome. But I think apart from that, it was that episode was a snooze fest for me, man. I had nothing.
I mean, let's just like I was getting worried because the way Loki was acting, how not his character he was, and that was getting me concerned. I'm like, oh, are we doing this again? We're getting him, and he's just not gonna feel like he was. You know, like that really was gonna suck. But as we get to the further episodes, you understand that, like, oh no, he is desperately trying to change his fate, right? Like seeing everything in the first 2 episodes really changed his mind on a lot of things.
Yeah, like
he wants to move forward.
Like he went through like 8 movies worth of character development in 2 episodes. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty big stuff for him. And I like that. I dig that this Loki's trying to actively be a different person than we've seen normally from Loki. Just Sylvie as a character is like the most boring protagonist character ever. She's so boring.
Yeah, she was pretty disappointing, man. Not gonna lie. You know what it is? It's the thing of, oh, well, since you're Loki, I thought you were gonna be like me. And she said, no, I'm nothing like you at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's all they're really going with her.
The thing that I need with Sylvie is I need more backstory. You know, like I need to see who her Thor is, who her Odin is, who Freya or who Frigga is for her and stuff. You know, like we needed to see those actual relationships. Instead, we just see her playing with toys, and then she gets taken by the TVA, and that's it. Like that's all you get. And I'm like, that's nothing. There's nothing to this character, which is a big bummer because like the way they played her up in those first 2 episodes, being like a really powerful, strong, superior version of Loki, does not translate to like the later episodes at all. I don't think. I don't really know too much about what else I really want to like bring up majorly plot wise of it, because I think I've seen a lot of other people talk it to death already online, like do all kinds of theories and stuff. I'm more here just to talk about Alligator Loki and Classic Loki and how cool those 2 characters were. Because Kid Loki was dumb. He didn't do nothing. He needed a bigger part. They said he was the leader of the group, and he didn't do jack. He did nothing.
I mean, he gave the sword dagger to our Loki.
I guess that's the thing. Yeah. Okay. But Classic Loki was great. I hope he's not dead. I hope he can come back because he was awesome.
Yeah, I liked Classic Loki a lot in this new episode, and then the other thing I thought of was like, man, why do they always have to make the classic suits just look goofy or just like cheaply made?
It just seems like they don't respect it. And this is the thing I brought up like back with WandaVision. Like I'm just like, I'm tired of the classic costumes getting the disrespect. You know what I mean? Like that Loki suit could have looked really good. But instead they made him look like a flabby mess.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like we said before, like all the other times they do it, like on the Netflix shows, they were all mainly jokes. Yep.
It's always played for a laugh.
Well, except Daredevil, they They did that one good. So.
Yeah, it's always played for a laugh, man, and that's a bummer. I think some of these suits could be taken pretty seriously if you did them right in live action.
They could have with the classic suit. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a simple enough design. But yeah, he was pretty cool. I liked his perspective.
Yep.
I think it was really great for our main Loki to like see his perspective now that he's an older Loki who, you know, learned from his mistakes and realized what was important at the end.
And then I love that his backstory is like the fan theories that everybody had about Loki after Infinity War. That he did escape after Infinity War and he just hid somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool that they had a variant of Loki be that person. Like, that's awesome. I think it's super impressive that he was able to conjure like all of Asgard. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like I was reading that that's a lot more in tune with what his power set was like in the comic books originally. Like he's a lot more close to just a conjuring magic kind of guy. So that was neat.
Nice. Yeah, he was pretty cool. There was a lot of Easter eggs in episode 5 that were pretty nice. I was like, oh, they really put the Thanos helicopter in there.
Yeah.
That was like one of the big ones.
Did you see
right?
Frog Thor? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I saw something moving. I was like, wait, is that who I think it is? And yeah, I went back. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Madison thought at first that it was Ant-Man. And I was like, oh, Ant-Man's in this. That would be kind of neat. And then it's like, oh no, it's Frog Thor.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because we have the alligator Loki.
Yep.
Yeah, which, you know, it was nice to see.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. That was a fun
All
time.
I'm saying is that Gator Loki had more personality than Sylvie or Kid Loki. And he didn't even say anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. I thought he was...
Yeah, Kid Loki was one of those ones I think they just had to put in there because it's iconic, like the vote for Loki.
Oh yeah,
variant that was there as well.
President Loki that loses a hand. That was great. I liked that a lot.
Which I gotta say, I didn't expect that to be a different Loki. I thought that was just going to be our.
Yeah, that was a good hoodwink. I liked that. That was a nice hoodwink to that, and I didn't mind that. I thought that was neat. Because I'm like, if they were going to do a President Loki where it's our Loki who becomes president of, like, this weird alternate realm thing, like, that would be, like, another, like, episode and a half, maybe, of content that they would need to do. And we don't got time for that. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a good way to do it. So I dug it. It was cool. I definitely think that this whole series is leading up to Kang the Conqueror, like, 100%. Like... If it's not, I would be very surprised. Because the leader lady of the TVA in the comic books is his girlfriend, and then the giant smoke monster thing is his giant smoke monster thing from the comic books. Yeah, so if Kang the Conqueror isn't the main villain of this, I'm going to be incredibly surprised. But I've also heard some theories that it could just be another Loki variant is the one that's in charge of the TVA, which I'm like. I mean, we haven't seen the shots from the trailer of Loki in like an Asgardian room back in his Asgardian robes. So that could be a thing. There's right, like a whole shot of Loki that's in this room with like a weird mirror thing, like a window, and that hasn't been in any of the series yet. So it could be that. That's who they're gonna run into. I think there's a few different ways they could take it. I really liked your theory of Mobius being a Thor variant.
Yeah, man. When I was watching episode 5, I kept thinking like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if like this happened and all that? And that was one of them. I think Mobius being Thor would fit. Yeah. Because he has this care for Loki, right? That's just, it's really like when we first see him like, oh, there's a Loki here. Perfect. We could use him to catch the other one. But then there's just like this trust that he has that's really out of nowhere. And, you know, he's asking those questions in the early episodes. And it sounds like, oh, he wants to make sure like this guy has a good head on his shoulders. For the episodes to go along, they get along a little bit more. And then he gets hurt, you know, when Loki, quote unquote, betrays him. And I think it'd be really cool, man, that if he was a Thor variant, because that also goes on Loki's end too, of why he just trusts him so much, and it's never really questioned. But I think that would be
and
really
I think
fun.
that would fit really well too, because that's how Mobius knows so much about Loki, is that it's not just because he's he's a researcher of Loki, right? Like, it's actually because he is Loki's brother, and like that's where he's learned about Loki, is just through that. Like, that would be pretty neat. And I was thinking that he might be Donald Blake, which is Thor's alter ego. Like, that could be like from the comic books, that's his like alternate persona that he uses to like walk around Earth disguised. So this could be like a Thor that got depowered and then taken to the TVA, which means we could get a scene of a Thor riding a jet ski, which would be amazing. That would be pretty awesome.
Well, I also think too that since he doesn't know he's a Thor, he can't use his powers, kind of thing. He doesn't understand he has powers.
That would make a lot of sense. Yep, like he's just like totally oblivious to the fact that he's got him. God, that would be cool. Ooh, that would be neat. I would dig that a lot.
One theory I had for this episode too was when they were going to, was it Alaroth? Was that its name? The cloud?
Oh
monster?
the Alioth, I think. Yeah.
Alioth, yeah. I was thinking too there. I was like, oh, what if that's like a Thor variant as well?
Oh, that would be kind of neat.
Because it is like thunder and all that. And then looking at the skull, I'm like, oh, what if this is sort of like Beta Ray Bill? This is another tease to bring him into the MCU.
That would have been cool. But nah.
Yeah. But then watching it further, I'm like, oh, they're not going to do that. I don't think they would.
No, I don't think they're going that direction.
That would have
been cool though. It's shaping up to be a pretty good show so far. I think this is definitely still. I think I still hold my opinion that this is my favorite of the Marvel Disney Plus shows. This up to this point. I think the only reason this show would fail is if they just completely botch the landing on the final episode. Like, if they just do something completely dumb, which has happened before. So I'm not gonna hold it. I'm not gonna build myself up for something amazing. I'm just gonna be like, all right, just take it as it goes. And I don't really know if the earth-shatteringness that Tom Hiddleston was describing about episodes 4 and 5 really hit me that hard. I guess the whole idea is that they finally did multiverse stuff. Like, it's actually like a thing now, with all the different Lokis and stuff. I guess that's part of it.
Or could he be talking about the weird love he has for Sylvie as well?
Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird aspect of the show still to me. I don't know how to feel about any of that. Somebody was like, oh, look at him being all romantic, pretending to be cold so that he can put a blanket on her. And I was like, gross. It's gross. It's weird. I don't... It's a very strange thing.
Yeah, it's super weird, man.
I don't get it.
I think the director was quoted saying like, yeah, there's an interesting love thing going on with Loki, but I don't know how I feel about it, but I think I know exactly where it's going to go based on Sylvie's reaction.
Okay.
Because when she brings it up in episode 5 when he's talking to her by themselves, and she's just like, she's totally against the idea, but as we get further into the episode, you see how like different she's acting with him. And then I guess as well as earlier that episode too, or the prior one where she's interrogating the judge of the TVA as well, like the way she's talking about Loki too could imply some stuff.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it is super weird, right? But I'm still willing to bet that she's not Loki still. Like, it could just still be a ruse. Like, sure, she was on Asgard, but that doesn't mean she can't be Enchantress still.
I
right?
guess, but then like Loki's able to do the enchanting stuff by holding hands with her, and they both touch the cloud. And...
Yeah, that moment was weird because when they saw classic Loki conjure Asgard, and Loki just says, "Oh, I guess we're stronger than we think."
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Well, I guess the concept is that Loki hasn't conjured anything on that scale before. And like the implication is that classic Loki is a Loki who's way far down the line, and his powers are like super super strong compared to like our Loki. I would imagine.
You know what that scene was missing when they both did the enchantment was having Sylvie re-explain how it works while they're doing it together. So that, because it's just Tom Hiddleston just standing there, just thinking really hard, and then she just holds his hand tighter, and then it works.
And it doesn't work before classic Loki gets killed. It works 10 seconds after he dies, which that's like the worst thing.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man. If that had worked 10 seconds earlier, classic Loki would be alive. And maybe it would have even gone with them to the alternate dimension, because it seemed like that was like his whole thing, was that he finally had like a turning point where he's like, I'm gonna do something, like I'm actually gonna like be active. And I was like, oh cool, we had a whole little character arc for classic Loki without needing dialogue for it. Like it's all just through action, which was great. But Kid Loki and Gator Loki just screwed off, and they were like, goodbye. We don't want to go back to the TVA.
Yeah, they were just there. They were just there to fill a quota for that
Same
episode.
with Boastful Loki, is what they called him in the credits.
Yeah, he was just there too.
I don't even believe that he was a Loki. He didn't come off as one to me at all. I don't know. Like everyone's like, have you guys ever, like, there's a part where like our Loki's like, have you guys ever heard of a female version of us? And they're like, oh no, that sounds horrible. And I'm just like, okay. And then we got the boastful one.
See, that's the other thing too, is that there hasn't been a female variant before that those guys have seen. So that also makes me think, oh yeah, maybe she's still not.
Like maybe she's still not Loki.
Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah, like I don't know if they're playing the long game with her or not, or like, no, this is just her.
Yeah.
At the end.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a really weird setup for a character.
Maybe because she doesn't identify as a Loki, that it makes it okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Right?
It still caused a Nexus event in the third episode, so I don't know. Or the fourth episode? Beginning of the fourth episode, that's right.
The fourth, yeah. Which I guess we should say too in that episode, right? The shot that we thought was Black Widow with Loki in the Soul Stone on that planet.
That was just Sylvie on a rock, which.
Well, you know, which looking at the shot again, it's like, oh, they just put a purple filter on that scene to trick us, pretty much.
Yeah, that's kind of how it felt.
Like that's all they really did, and you know, looking at the scene again, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess from this angle, it could still look like Black Widow.
That was definitely designed to be like a misdirection, which I'm never a fan of. I don't like when they do that, but. You know, other people might. I don't know. Yeah, it's shaping up to be pretty good. I think Miss Minutes has a lot more going on than we know about. I think there's going to be some stuff about her maybe in the final episode that pops up. I just got a feeling, especially with the way she was quote unquote finding the file about the time spaceship or whatever.
Yeah, which was just fake, right?
So it's shaping up to be kind of interesting. So I'm pretty stoked to see what happens in the final episode next week. I think that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm curious because as we found out, right, the TVA, the timekeepers were fake androids.
Yep. They're robots.
And it's like, yeah, there's somebody else controlling them or giving them answers. And I like the idea of like, oh, they have to go beyond the end of time. Because that's where he's hiding, because you can't really mess up the sacred timeline right there. So it won't tick people off. I think it has to be a pretty big character to show up, right? Because this is more or less leading up to the rest of the multiverse stuff for the MCU. So I'm curious to see what it is. It's interesting, the building he's in, like it's like a castle-like structure, right? Off in the distance.
I thought that was kind of a neat looking deal. So I don't know what that exactly is going to be about, but it looks cool.
Mm-hmm. I will say too, with it being 6 episodes, it does suck because like we said, we do want more. But there's also some parts where it's like, oh, that felt rushed. In episode 4, like the Mobius changing his mind and going to Loki's side, it felt a little fast paced.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. I felt so that was kind of funky.
His quote unquote death scene was great too. That was one of the highlights for me for that episode 4. Where he said, maybe, you know, if I had I probably had a jet ski in my life before the TVA.
Like, he's like, you know where I'd want to be? I'd want to be on a jet ski that I had before this. And I do like how he pops back up in the fifth episode where he's driving the pizza car. There is,
Yeah, is that a reference to something
I have
that
no
I missed?
idea. Okay. I was legitimately kind of hoping that the car was going to pull up and it was going to be Tobey Maguire and he was going to pop the door open and say pizza time.
Pizza time.
I was like, that might be a little too far reaching at this moment. I don't know. I know that Ronan's ship shows up in the background of that stuff. We already talked about the Thanos copter being a thing. There's Frog Thor.
Yeah, we saw a Mjolnir in there.
Which Frog Thor is like jumping towards in the little jar that he's in. So I'm like, oh, he's trying to get to the hammer. That's funny. And there's just like 1,000 references in that whole bit. So like I want to go back through and definitely like watch through all the scenes and stuff and like just pick and like comb through it. You know, see everything they hid in the background. I'm curious what Mobius is going to do when he goes back to the TVA. I don't like, that's something I'm wondering about. Like, I've also heard theories that Mobius might actually be just the main villain, which I think would be a huge bummer.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that. I do want to see how he handles the TVA stuff too, though. That's going to be fun because he is longtime friends with, I forget her name, the judge. That's in the show.
The King's girlfriend, lady.
Yeah,
Raven's Shop or something. I don't know.
They're sort of keeping her relevant with the show, right? As she wants to find out who's giving her orders, because I guess eventually she'll want to, I don't know, take over or something. That could be
something
a thing
like that. So I don't know. It's got some possibilities of places to go. It's pretty neat. But I don't really know if I have too much else to say about it currently. I think I'm just kind of waiting for the final episode to have full thoughts on the show.
Yeah, and an overall look at how the show shaped up to be. Yeah, I think that's what I'm waiting on too.
This show did the thing again that WandaVision did, where it had a really good concept of like all this like classic-y looking stuff in the first 3, and then it just gives up on it for the second half of the show, which is a weird trend because it's still like in the credits, like all the TVA stuff. But, like, the TVA itself hasn't been super present since, like, episode 2.
Yeah, I think it was sort of like the wow factor to bring you in and seeing how cool and vintage it looks. And then we have to move on to the actual story, which doesn't really involve them being there a whole lot. Or even using stuff that looks sort of retro-futuristic.
Yeah. So I'm a little bummed that this show took that same turn that WandaVision did, but...
I will say I was surprised for episode 5 we didn't get a post-credit scene.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be something at the end. So I guess we're probably only going to get a post-credit scene at the end of the final episode.
More highlights for me was just Loki and his dialogue that he was giving out to the other Lokis. And even that moment where Kid Loki says, "What makes you so different?" And, you know, his reply saying, "Oh, I'm not different. You know, I'm the same as you guys," but then, you know, he goes on to what he realizes during the early episodes. I thought that was pretty cool.
I dug that all that stuff quite a bit.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's a fast-paced way to show character growth, but they did it right. But other than that, yeah, I'm just excited to see how the finale is going to turn up. Hopefully it's not a wreck.
Yeah.
That's because it could go so many places here.
Well, and if we can count on Marvel for anything, it's giant space laser fights. So we will probably get one of those in the finale.
So right on, man. I think with that, we could say this is a wrap for this episode.
I think so. I think we Marvel talked it out, man. We got some more stuff on the horizon. I'm excited to talk the rest of Superman and Lois once I'm done watching that. Definitely stoked for you to see Black Widow and have a good old-fashioned Marvel movie talk on that one. And then we will return for the final episode of Loki.
Yeah, so we'll see how many episodes we'll be getting out next week, or if we'll just tie them all together. We shall see. Right on, man. And so while we wait for this movie and the episode to come out, Jake, where can we find you?
You guys can find me anywhere on the internet at Corruption Cosplay with K's. Our Shattered Past episode at Crimson Vision Studios just passed 100,000 views, so please go check it out. It's still really good stuff. We've got more Shattered Past on the horizon. We're already shooting episode 5. So it's going strong, man. We're going to try and get episode 5 out a lot faster than the gap between 3 and 4. So stay tuned for that. Danny, where can we find you?
Yeah, man, you could go follow me at Negator7, anywhere you go on social media. And I'm taking a break on Twitch, but I'll be back soon. And then, of course, our other podcast, Unverse Podcast, I mainly do manga reviews over there as well. All that good stuff, man. So right on, yeah. And of course, you can follow us at Marvel Talk Cast on Instagram for updates, and then you can send an email to wrong email. You could send an email to marveltalkpodcast@gmail.com if you have any questions or comments. And we'll sure to bring those up on the next episode, as always. So right on, guys. Thanks for listening again. And until next time.
I've always wanted a jet ski.
That was always fun, too, where you just hear Owen Wilson do his whisper in episode 5, right? I was like, yeah. Yeah, they picked a good actor to play Mobius, I will say.
Just a little tidbit. I love Mobius and classic Loki discussing what Gator Loki is. Like, are you sure he's actually a Loki? Like,
oh yeah, that's right.
He could just be an alligator wearing a crown. You don't even know if he's a Loki. But it would be in a Loki's nature to lie, so I guess he could still be a Loki. Like,
yeah, is he playing the long game? What's going on?
I thought that was great. That would be a heck of a twist. Gator Loki's the main villain.